Saturday night at UFC 266, featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski puts his title on the line against top contender Brian Ortega in the main event. Let's break it down. Brian Ortega is 30 years old. He's 5'9" with a 69-inch reach and a record of 15-1-1 with 3 knockouts and 7 submissions. From Los Angeles, California, Ortega began training in Muay Thai at the age of 5 and at 13 took up Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, eventually earning his black belt under Rener Gracie. After training in boxing to sharpen his striking skills, he made his MMA debut in April of 2010, scoring a first-round triangle choke submission over John Sassone. He won his first 8 fights with 4 submissions before winning his UFC debut with a first-round submission over Mike De La Torre. However, the fight was later ruled a no contest after Ortega tested positive for steroids and was given a 9-month suspension. He returned in June of 2015, scoring a third-round knockout over Thiago Tavares, and followed that up 7 months later with a triangle choke over Diego Brandao. Next up, he faced UFC mainstay Clay Guida, engaging in a brutal back-and-forth brawl until he rallied back at the end of the fight with a flying knee knockout. He continued his meteoric rise with back-to-back guillotine chokes of Renata, Moicano, and Cub Swanson, and in March of 2018 became the first man to stop Frankie Edgar when he knocked him out with an uppercut followed by ground and pound. His hot streak came to a grinding halt in December of 2018 when, despite putting up a valiant effort, he was gradually outboxed and outclassed by then featherweight champion Max Holloway, suffering his first loss when the doctor waved it off at the end of the 4th round. On October 18, 2020, after a nearly 2-year layoff, he returned against Chan Sung Jung, dropping the Korean zombie multiple times en route to a dominant and one-sided unanimous decision. A first-degree black belt in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, Ortega has some of the most impressive grappling skills in the sport, as well as a solid jab and excellent counter-striking ability. Alexander Volkanovski is 32 years old. He's 5'6" with a 71-inch reach and a record of 22-1 with 11 knockouts and 3 submissions. From New South Wales, Australia, Volkanovski took up Greco-Roman wrestling at a young age, going on to win a national title at the age of 12, though he gave up the sport in his teens to pursue a career in rugby. After a successful run in the semi-pro leagues, where he weighed upwards of 214 pounds, he decided at the age of 23 to take up MMA, going 4-0 as a middleweight amateur before turning pro in May of 2012, with a unanimous decision over Gerhard Voigt. He won his next 2 in the welterweight division before getting stopped by a head kick and ground and pound in his 4th fight. He won his next 10 with 9 stoppages before making his UFC debut in 2016 with a 2nd-round knockout of Yusuke Kasura. 7 months later, he dropped down to the featherweight division, defeating Mizuto Hirota, and followed that up with decisions over Shane Young and Darren Elkins, as well as a brutal TKO over Jeremy Kennedy. On December 29, 2018, he took part in an exciting, wild brawl with Chad Mendes, getting taken down multiple times before catching Mendes with a left to the body and a right to the head to score a 2nd-round knockout, and continued his rise with an impressively dominant victory over former champion Jose Aldo. In December of 2019, he took on Max Holloway for the featherweight title, dethroning the champion with a highly tactical game plan that consisted of relentlessly attacking Holloway's lead leg to limit his offense while landing counterstrikes in the pocket. 7 months later, he made his first title defense with a controversial split-decision victory in the rematch. A very technical, high-volume pressure fighter, Volkanovski possesses an impressive fight IQ, showing the ability to adapt his game plan and grind down his opponents with his stamina and explosiveness. Will T-City's counter-striking and jiu-jitsu pose problems for Volkanovski, or will Alexander the Great be able to overwhelm and outthink Ortega as he eyes a potential trilogy fight with Holloway? Tune into UFC 266, Volkanovski vs. Ortega, and let's find out.